left. Rob? Urban, what are your three keys, maybe philosophically, to recruiting when you have your coaches, when you send them out? Not so much what you're looking for, but how to secure guys. What do you emphasize?
Oh, I think it's a lot like how we approach our business here. It's the relationships, and you're going to hear this. It's not like Shelley's always funny whenever she hears Coach Shelley goes, everybody coach says the same things. And blah, blah, blah is what she says, but it's relationships, and it is. I mean, Zach Smith was a guy that did just okay his first year here, really first year and a half. He knocked it out of the park this year. He signed Jalen Holmes and Johnny Dixon, and he beat beat a bunch of high-profile schools in different regions, and that was simply for one reason. Well, the number one reason is the Ohio State brand. The brand is so strong. The number two reason is a relationship, and I see that when I walk in Jalen Holmes' house, and he's on Facebook or that FaceTime, I'm not even sure what it is, but he's sitting there talking to Zach Smith's son I think he's a 4-year-old son, 5-year-old kid, for 5 or 10 minutes. I knew we were in pretty good shape if he has a great relationship with Zach's son. And so I usually can walk in because I'm kind of the closer. I can walk, they set the groundwork. I kind of know where we're headed when I walk in that home. And the number one thing without question is relationships being built.
Follow up real quick. I talked to some of the BG guys from 2002 Bowling Green, your first class. How has it evolved for you in terms of closing or the whole process?
I think it's probably pretty much the same. I'd be interested to talk to the guys as well, but it's pretty much the same. I mean, you go after them. We're really honest with them. I think, I made a comment just a minute ago in an interview that, some people don't like kids to go on visits. I think kids should go on visits. Jamarco Jones went on a visit at the 11th hour. I don't know if I appreciate that. I'd much rather him go on a visit in July or in September, but I will never tell a kid you can't visit. I'd rather him not. And even with Jamarco, I never said you shouldn't do that. He's very simply said, I want to make sure. And after being a parent on the parent side of 2 recruiting battles, if someone ever told my kid you can't go visit, that'd be not a pleasant conversation, because those kids deserve to go wherever they want to go to school. And so I think you asked about the approach. It's a very honest, open approach. Come in and see everything we got. This is the way we do our business. It's not for everybody, and if you want to be a part of it, we'd love to have you.
Second row middle. Dave?
What are your thoughts on the scholarship productions now being behind you, and how much of a limitation was that? It seems like you guys recruited really well. But
we didn't get through it very well. We would have had more safeties. We would have had not the special teams issues that we've had over the years. So 9 scholarships was a tough deal. You start doing that with the multiplicity of injuries that you deal with. We had 13 season-ending injuries. So we're anxious to move forward.
Front row, Todd.
Urban, I think you guys might be like 2 over come August. How do you plan to be within the framework?
It's not 2. That's just something we got to manage the roster right now, and then who's coming back for their 5th year, those type of things. And then we're dealing with some injury issues right now as well.
You guys hear anything on Christian Bryant at all?
Yeah, he's not coming back. The appeal was just recently, the second appeal. We appealed it twice. So that's one I was hoping he'd come back.
Front row, Tim.
Yeah, 2 quickies. Urban, number one, what does it mean to you to have a highly ranked class? Obviously, you've had 3 in a row now, and 2 in the top 2 or 3. It looks like when it all figures out. Why is that important to you?
Well, I mean, I hear people say it's not important. I disagree. I think it's very. As long as you're keeping score, we're going to try to win. I'm disappointed we weren't the #1 recruiting class in the country. Our staff knows we're disappointed about that. Is that the final end-all and say no? It has really. As long as they're going to go keep track of it, and there is a correlation between how teams do and where your teams are ranked, your recruiting classes are ranked, but it's certainly not. That's not the final product, because you got to coach them, develop them, and get them here. So we do. I actually do. We do pay attention to that, and that's not saying that we take a kid who's a 5-star over a 3-star if we believe in a 3-star. That's not it at all. But I'll start watching it near the end of the recruiting class.
And the other thing, it looks like you literally are going to lean on this class. I mean, last year you talked about some guys you thought could come in and play. Some of them didn't pan out. I mean, I don't know how much of a gamble is it, or do you feel like you're gambling a little bit with this class, a little bit from that standpoint?
No, we wanted to do that last year, Tim. Tim, we wanted to, we didn't do, Garyon Conley should have played last year. Now, that's Garyon's fault. It's our fault. That's the position coach's fault. If we're going to sit here and blame, which I'm not blaming, but no, we're counting on these guys to go play. What you don't want to do is and I got to really watch how I present this to our staff. I don't want to have a young man come in and play 12 snaps and lose a year. If we're going to play him, play him. But you have to get him ready to go, and the young man has to attack it as if to go get ready. Joey Bosa is a perfect example. Came in and he's playing from day one. You knew that.
But is that what you're talking about? These guys have played competition. It tells you they can step up.
Well, I thought last year we did. Massillon, Ohio was pretty good. That young man should have came in here and played, and we should have had him ready. And he's got the ability level. And I know I'm not picking on Garyon, because Garyon's going to be a fine player. He's doing it fantastic for us right now. So we're going to, if it's the way it turns out, we'll redshirt a very minimal amount of this class.
Right, Austin. Urban, last year at this time you seemed pretty disappointed with the class you put together on the offensive line. Only one of them showed up. You lose the 4 good seniors. Did you have to double down your emphasis on getting guys up front in this class specifically?
We signed last year. Billy Price.
Gardner, but he didn't make it.
Gardner didn't make it. Who's the other one?
It was just the 2.
Evan Lyle.
Oh, Evan Lyle. Yeah, last year was a disappointment in the offensive line. Billy Price, we moved Billy's over now. He's going to play on offense, and he looks. He's going to. I think he'll, if not start, be right in the depth. Evan Lyle is really coming on as well. Kyle Dotson, it's time for him to show up and start playing. Taylor Decker, obviously, he is starting for us. And then we signed 5 this year, so they have to perform. I'd say 2 of the 5 have to be in the depth, and we recruited as such.
Would this be about the amount that you would normally recruit, or was that influenced by last year?
Well, you want 16. You want 16 linemen in your program, and so obviously when we moved Billy Price over, then we only needed 5 to fill it. I think we're at 16 now.
Far right, Clay.
Similar to Tim's question, how do you quantify what happened today? I mean, do you look at your staff and say, hey, we won some games today? How much is recruiting? How much is development?
Oh, it's 50-50. That's a great question. I think we won today, and I made it clear to our guys. I'm very pleased with their effort today. That was a good class. I think, once again, I think it was a great class. Jamarco Jones, I would have been a fake smile in here today if we didn't get him. I don't know, Clay. We'll see. I don't know. I think it very well could be.
Middle, yeah.
Best class here, or oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I think so. We'll see. That's who knows.